ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Cars running on the high side, looking for more grip, drifting sideways and holding tight, trying not to flip. Rubbing fenders, bumping doors, ain't no time for doubt. Pushing hard past the limit, we're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Checkered flag flapping in the breeze. Heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been tamed. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. To be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening from the beautiful Eldora Speedway. As the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Circle Track Showdown rolls into their 7th week of racing action here this evening, each and every driver looking to get their claim here at glory as they're going to be trying to battle and tussle and put themselves up and into the Eldora victory lane here this evening. Qualifying has come to a close, so drivers are hopping out onto the racetrack here as their warm-up session gets underway. They're going to slide out on the racetrack. They're going to make sure that their cars are absolutely perfect and ready to rumble here this evening, and they're also going to work the track in a little bit more, try to figure out what they need to do, where they need to roll, and where they need to try to find that speed to put themselves into the winner's circle here today. It is going to be another great day of racing action as each and every one of these drivers hoping to try to find some glory here this evening, trying to put themselves into the top spot. It's going to be a tough battle. A lot of fast cars, a lot of great drivers out there on the speedway going to be tussling here this evening to find out who can be the best of the best here this evening and claim victory here at Eldora. Is DWRL coming in with that share on the broadcast? Evan Monaghan coming in with that like as well here on the stream. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys are just tuning in, funneling in right now for the action. Make sure you guys do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to set these drivers loose. We get ready to go to battle here in this one. Oh man, this is gonna be a lot of fun. This is gonna be some great fun, some great action. It's gonna be a little bit crazy out there on the speedway. Drivers are gonna be slicing and dicing it up, trying to hopefully put themselves into the top spot as we go through some of these amazing, talented drivers out on the racetrack here. We do see Philip Sexton out there. Philip looking strong here this evening, always looking good out there in that 20 ride, as you do see the 7 ride of Seth Castle right there in front of him. Sean Hayes out there on the Speedway. Good to see Sean out there on the racetrack because he's got that Team No Lab Grip Hackney Live number 8. That's Jeremy Vaughn right down to his inside. Brian Wells in the 86 machine ready to rumble here today with Richie Yost also in attendance. Good to see Richie out there on the racetrack looking fresh as always there in that 29 ride, ready to go to battle here this evening. Nathan Trepo, the Witch Doctor, in attendance here as well as the Witch Doctor. Gonna get ready to duke it out, gonna get ready to battle. Here's that TNT Racing ride of James Ellington. Ellington ready to slice and dice it here today. Taylor Ryan out there in that 47 ride, that beautiful orange and green machine out there on the Speedway. Chad Peterbow out there as well in the 20 ride as take a look here. A lot of drivers, a lot of fast cats. See Kevin Boley out there as well in his 304 ride, ready to rumble. William Bowman out there as well in the 31 machine is the Elite Chassis ride. He's out there on the racetrack. Good to see William back out there on the racetrack. We'll see Jason Calhoun in attendance here this evening. Shane Matthews out there on the racetrack in the 5 ride. Here duking it out today. Jaden Glenn also on the Speedway there in that TNT Racing number 11 ride. Fresh looking paint scheme here for Jaden Glenn this afternoon. Timothy Missammer out there as well. Missammer out there on the racetrack in that 327. Ready to rumble here, man. Great looking car. Good to see Timothy back out there on the racetrack as well as Dave Morgan. What's good, Dave? Dave coming in with the heart reaction says, let's go Sexton, cheering on the Sextons here today. As you see Kent McLean out there in the 75 ride. A lot of fast drivers, man. A lot of tough competition here this evening. There's William Hargraves out there on the Speedway as well in his Grumpy Graphics Dirt Panda number 71 machine. That beautiful DWR ride out there on the Speedway. Let's take a look through some of these other drivers. Dustin Hannigan, Hanny in attendance here this evening as well. Hanny, new paint scheme there on the Hannigan ride this evening as Hanny's going to be looking good, looking strong. We do see Philip Sexton and Jeremy Sexton, though, right now with the quick times here in this warm-up session. So if they got that speed early on, if they got a good starting position, they may be a threat all evening long. As there you go, you see Pepe up on the high side there going for the slide jump over the 20 ride of Chad Peterbow. Man, this is going to be slicey. This is going to be dicey. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think these drivers are going to put on an absolutely amazing show for us here this evening. This is going to be a nail-biter, I think, right from the drop of the green flag right down to the checkered flag here today. And that's going to create for some absolutely amazing action, some absolutely amazing racing. It's going to get chippy. It's going to get a little slice and dicing. And we're going to see a little bit of contact, a little bit of rubbing and scrubbing out there on the racetrack as every one of these drivers will be looking to try to put themselves up and into victory lane. Oh, baby, here we go, chat. Practice has come to an end, so our warm-up session is no longer. We'll get them stacked up. We'll get them racked up. We'll get ready to rumble here for our main feature event. 65 laps of racing action here this evening as Marcos Pace says, let's go CFC boys, cheering on all the Cocky Floyd Consulting rides out there on the racetrack. As there's quite a few of those Cocky Floyd rides here this evening in attendance, ready to battle out, ready to duke it out here today. And starting on the pole, it's one of them in that 2020 ride. It is Jeremy Sexton. Jeremy starting in the pole position. We'll have William Hargreaves there to his outside. Richie Yost in position number 3. T-Jack Tyler Jackson, the Hollywood Shark ride, in position number 4. Dustin Hannigan there in 5th with Philip Sexton to his outside in position number 6. Sean Hayes in position number 7 with Brian Wells to his outside there in the 8th position. Tyler Ryan and Kent McLean going to round out our top 10 as Stephen Burrow back there in 11th with Jackie Whaley in 12th. Starting in position at number 13 in the number 4 machine, that is Seth Castle to his outside in the 4X, that is Ryan Howard. Then we see the 304 ride, that is the Tommy Gun Customs machine of Kevin Boley to his outside. The number 43 is actually the 18th, the Scott Bloomquist paint scheme, that is James Martin. Then we see Jeremy Vaughn there in his beautiful Team No Love number 8 machine. Dylan Simmons in the 33 ride, the Sunrise Racing ride, starting there in about the 16th position. As the 11 of Jaden Glenn there in 11th. Cameron Stefanski there in 18th. Then we see the 33 ride there of James Ellington. We see the 42 of Nathan Tripo. And then we do see Jim Rivas back there in 22nd. Jason Calhoun, Tim Taylor, William Klein in the 5 ride. That Dirt Track Junkies Bulletproof Motorsports machine back in 25th, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go green flag racing here. It looks like somehow or another, a lineup has kind of gotten askewed here, as it looks like it's now moved Hargreaves back to about 28th. Jan Puderbo, Sexton, Aikens, David Anderson, Timothy Missamer back there in 33rd. So things have gotten a little bit more mixed up here as we're trying to get things figured out. We're trying to figure out what's going on here and where all the problems are here. As right now it's showing that the 29 of Richie Yost and Tyler Jackson are out in front. I'm not sure if this lobby had gotten mixed up or not, or what may have happened, but nonetheless, it looks like we're going to get them all ready to rumble as Hargreaves, Sexton go to the back of the pack. Oh, baby, this is going to make for some fun. This is going to get very, very interesting as Fast Cats back there deeper in the field. Fast drivers here at the front. They're going to be trying to hold on to these top positions as here we go, ending all the anticipation with our feature presentation. As Richie Yost leads us to the green flag, but here comes T-Jack around the outside. Tyler Jackson with a great run slides down in front of the 29. A little bit of a nudge right there, but luckily enough for the 8 machine of Tyler Jackson, able to hang on to the race lead. Now here comes Dustin Hennigan. Henny working down low, looking to try to get that 16 right up to the front of the field, hoping to try to pick up another big win here in these dirt street stocks, but he's got Richie Yost hanging strong there to his outside, and here comes that 20 right of Philip Sexton. Brian Wells back there in that 5th position, trying to keep that 86 right rolling. He's got that 109 of Sean Hayes down to his inside. Tyler Ryan, Stephen Barreau, Seth Castle, and Jackie Whaley early on in that 304 Roots DWR 720 ride, rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack. Kent McLean just on the outside of the top 10, looking in here in that 75 machine as drivers trying to figure out what they need to do. Do they go hard here right out of the get-go? Do you roll into more of a tire conserving scenario out there on the racetrack? If you try to save some tire, try to keep yourself potentially out of trouble for later in this race, and just try to put yourself into a position where you may have the better percentage when it comes down to our final laps of this race. Could get the runs, could get the lanes, and potentially find your way up and into victory lane. So we'll have to wait and see how some drivers play it out as we take a look a little deeper in the field at drivers that went from the front to the back of the pack. You look back here at William Hargreaves. Hargreaves now up into about 26. Jeremy Sexton there in 29th. Back there in tow. Timothy Missamer there in 30th. Chad Puderbo, Jeremy Aikens there in 32nd. David Anderson, unfortunately, in that Majula Say Speed Shop number 61 ride, now back into 33rd. As 33 drivers taking the green flag here this evening. Unfortunately, there was about I don't even know, man. There was about another 12, 15 cars that unfortunately did not make the show here this evening. And, man, that's a big field. 33 drivers here at Eldora, and these guys are putting on an absolute amazing race for us. As we do see Philip Sexton. He's been able to work his way around Richie Yost and Hennigan, and now going after the race lead as T-Jack will slide back to second. It's Sexton now out in front, but here comes a slide jump. Barks it on his nose as T-Jack pulls the trigger down in 1 and 2 and takes the race lead back away from Sexton. Sexton will probably not be very pleased with that one. He will look to try to battle back. Is that Hollywood Shark right there at the front of the field? The beautiful Dirt Warrior Racing League machine of Tyler Jackson trying to hold them all off. And so far throughout this race, they've been clicking off the laps in a quick hurry. You can already start to see this racetrack trying to make a change here. It's starting to build up a little bit more of a middle groove here. We're going to continue to see drivers start to slowly but surely slide up to that middle lane, then up to the high side, looking for those big runs, that big amount of speed out there on the speedway to try to take advantage of these long straightaways and big wide arcing corners. As you see the 20 ride of Sexton gets a great run down into corner number 2. He uses it down in 3 and 4 to work down to the inside here. D-Jack now, he's going to pull the trigger. He'll go for that slide jump. T-Jack going to cut back down the racetrack. Underneath of him, there'll be door to door down the back straightaway as Tyler trying to keep that race lead. Phillip trying to take it away from him, and it's Richie Yost right there hanging, lurking in the background, waiting for his time to shine, waiting for his time to potentially make a move and strike here. As here we go, another tight slider. Oh, baby, they're going to scrub a little bit right there. There goes the Hoosier stickers off the sidewalls as these two continue to battle here at the front of the field. Yost right there in third. He's loving seeing this. He wants to see these guys continue to battle like that as they're racing hard here right in front of him, right in front of his nose, but he knows that the harder that these two race is, the more likely they're going to burn up their equipment. They're going to burn through those tires, and they're going to really pay the price later in this race where Richie, Hennigan, Tyler Ryan, any of these drivers may be able to take advantage of the used-up cars that are in front of them and put themselves into potentially the winning situation. But now they got some other drivers to deal with. Here comes Tyler Ryan down low. Brian Wells up on the high side. They're looking to try to work themselves around that 16 of Dustin Hennigan. Is looking a little contact right there. The 29 right almost goes around for Richie Yost. That slides him back now into the 5th position. Oh, baby, it's getting dicey up here towards the front of the field. Here comes Tyler Ryan working the outside lane. He's looking to try to find the run to get to that right rear quarter panel of the 29, but man, Richie Yost just slammed that door shut. Now they make contact. Look out, Yost almost around again. Here comes Sean Hayes. Hayes looking to try to jump into this battle now. Does he put that rocket race ramps ride right into the thick of things here this evening and duke it out here for a top 5 run early on this evening? 17 laps completed. We still have just under 50 laps left to go. 48 more laps of racing action. Will be 47 the next time by the start-finish line as Phillip Sexton still working here on trying to make the move around that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. That time down across the line using that outside lane will give the race lead to the 20 ride of Phillip Sexton as Sexton uses that high side to his advantage, takes the race lead away from T-Jack. T-Jack slides back into P2. Now he's looking to use that outside lane, seeing if he can find the run that the 20 ride had just used to make the move and take that top spot away from him. But it looks like Phillip has this car hooked up here this evening on rails out there on the racetrack. And I do believe, reading the Discord earlier here this evening, that the 20 ride of Phillip Sexton picked up the checkered flag in our practice race on Monday night here in Eldora. So he's got the golden ticket here. He's got this track figured out. He's got his race car dialed in, and here he is once again at the front of the field, and that could be game over for the rest of the drivers back behind him, knowing that this 20 ride is super good here at Eldora, and then he's got a really good car, and he's figured out how to run this race. He's at the front of the field and has the race lead. Good look to try to open up that gap more and more as so far we've been caution free. We've been clean and green here all evening long, but I may have spoke too soon. There's a little rubbing and scrubbing deeper in the field. Look like David Anderson in the 20 ride hooked together, and there's the caution flag. David Anderson and Mr. Chad Puterbo tied together, and unfortunately that will be our first caution flag of the day. So lap 22, we see the yellow flag fly. We do see David Anderson looking to try to take his car down pit side and off the racetrack. Let's take a look at the contact. It looks like Puterbo runs into some issues here. He's battling a little deeper in the field with the 5 rider Shane Matthews. Looks like Matthews just going to get up the track right there, gets a piece of him, spins that 20 ride around. They both wash down the racetrack into the 61. Nowhere to go for David Anderson as he slides into the side of the 5 and the 20 ride. Comes to a stop there on the bottom side of the front straightaway. Flagman getting a great look at that. Throws the caution flag out. Allows all of our lead lap cars to avoid any additional contact or mayhem out out there on the speedway. It's just a tough area, tough hit right there. Obviously, drivers just trying to find everything they can. And for Shane Matthews, just maybe misjudging a little bit on how much he was washed up the racetrack through that slick stuff. Washed up a little bit too far, got into that left rear quarter panel, and that's all she wrote for that 20 ride. As around goes Puderbo, not the spot that he wants to be out there on the racetrack, as he'll be sent to the tail of the field, and he'll have to try to battle back here in this one. As here we go, getting them all ready to rumble, ready to go back to green flag racing, as out in front, leading it. Still that 20 ride of Philip Sexton. But the big question is, the drivers that qualified up towards the front, that got sent to the rear of the field, where are they sitting? We take a look back here at Hargraves. Hargraves all the way back here in 21st, still trying to navigate his way inside the top 20. If we look at Jeremy Sexton, he's back at about the 23rd position. He'll be looking to try to make some big moves here on this restart. Timothy Messammer also right there as well. Messammer back in the 25th position. A lot of drivers trying to work themselves up and through the field, trying to get to the front of the pack, and right now it is some tough sledding. As look at them, 3-4 wide out there on the racetrack. Everyone trying to find their groove, trying to find their lane, and trying to put themselves up and into the top spot here this evening. But it's all Philip Sexton, as Philip continues to lead this race. The 20 ride out in front has T-Jack, the DWR ride, right there on his back bumper. Brian Wells in position number 3 here. Great run for Wells here throughout the first 24 laps of this race, working himself up 5 positions now inside our top 3, and he's looking to try to go after that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. As T-Jack rolling there, still in that 2nd position. It's door to door. It's Dustin Hennigan and Richie Yost. They've been duking it out for a little while now, as they are trying to hold off Sean Hayes in that 47 of Tyler Ryan. Here comes Stephen Barreau. Here comes that 4 ride of Seth Castle. Castle looking to try to get that beautiful looking number 4 ride, the Rough House Graphics. The beautiful ride is, oh, there's contact. Look out. Oh, baby. Getting tied together. Going around is Sean Hayes and Richie Yost. Oh, brother, no caution flag on the racetrack either. That is a heartbreaker here. We do see Yost getting back together, rolling out there, now stuck back in that 30th position. Same with that 109 of Sean Hayes. So both drivers battling for the top 5. All of a sudden, both drivers end up a little farther behind. Let's play this back. Let's throw it in reverse here for a lap, and let's take a look back at the contact here. Hayes rolling the bottom side. You take a good look at him here. He's rolling that inside lane. Richie Yost rolling more of the middle, trying to run it down the hill, trying to get a big run out of corner number 4. Unfortunately, Hayes rolling up the track. The 29 slowly coming down the track. They end up making contact there. I'd put more of the blame more on that 0-1 ride, as unfortunately washing too far up, sees that 29 ride and just could not get onto the binders, could not check up all that momentum in time, and they get tied together. Here they are down the front straightaway, virtually coming to a stop. Luckily enough, both drivers able to get rolling, able to keep driving, and able to keep themselves in the battle here and not bring out the caution flag. So we love that. We love to see that, as they're able to keep on battling, as now we do see the 31 ride go around and the caution flag will fly. So there goes that elite chassis machine. Around is William Bowman, having some struggles there down and out of corner number 2. Let's take a look and see what happens here to Bowman. As Bowman down and looks like maybe he gets a little help. We'll see here. The 5 right on his back bumper, and it looks like these are just tight. Gets into that slick stuff. Unfortunately, looks like he just loses the rear end. Car loops around on him. No help, no contact there. Just loses it, goes around, and that will put us back under the yellow flag here today. So our second caution flag after 29 laps of racing action. We are now on our 30th lap. As we go back to green flag racing, we should see lap number 30 get completed here, and that means we will have 35 laps left to battle here today. As Jordan LaFawn, what's good, LaFawn? LaFawn coming in, showing the love. What's good, brother? How are you? James Beavers also coming in with that like on the stream. Kirk Burrell also coming in with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. As James says, what's up? What's up, James? What's up, Jordan? Mr. Laboon, what's good, brother? Says, what's crack-a-lackin', brother? Long time no see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Long time no see. Glad to see you up in the chat, watching some great racing here this evening. As man, it's been a show so far, man. This has been quite a battle, quite a fight here towards the front of the field, as every one of these drivers have been looking and trying to put themselves up and into victory lane, but it's easier said than done because you got so many talented drivers out there on the racetrack, and as we continue to battle, we're seeing more and more of them work their way towards the front. The drivers that had to take the EOL went to the back of the pack. When we look back here at Hargreaves, now into the 17th position. You look at Jeremy Sexton, they're in about the 19th position. Can they continue to keep on marching forward? Can they keep on fighting that extra gear and trying to work themselves back up towards the front? And potentially, are they holding back? Are they holding something back here, trying to maybe manage their tires, try to manage their runs for later in this race? If they can have better tires in the final, closing 10, 15 laps, maybe that will give them enough to edge out in front, make the passes that they need here at the front of the field to work themselves to the front of the pack here this evening. Is right now it's all Philip Sexton. Philip has the race lead, looking strong there in that Sexton paint and body. Cocky Floyd Consulting number 20 ride is T-Jack right there behind him in that beautiful Hollywood Shark machine in position number 2. But just like that, cautions, breeding cautions here at Eldora as the yellow flag will come right back out. So another yellow flag, some more issues out there on the racetrack. I do believe we're going to see a couple of these drivers get tied together. Take a look and see. Okay, there we go. We see a couple up against the outside fence. I do believe that is Jaden Glenn, Shane Matthews, Richie Yost potentially collected in this one. Again, let's take a look at it as Jaden sends it into the corner right here. Looks like he just gets tied together. Comes up the track right there, right over the nose of Dakota Proud. Nowhere to go really for Proud right here. See if we can get another angle at this one. See if we can get another shot at it. See if it's better look here as we'll watch this TNT racing ride. Just right about there. Sees the one car moving up. He slides up the track. Unfortunately, was not clear of Dakota Proud. They just get tied together. Proud and the 11 up into the outside fence. Here comes the 33 of Dylan Simmons. Simmons trying to get through there. Unfortunately, tail tags the 11 ride who stuck out. And then all of a sudden, here comes Jim Revis. Here comes William Hargraves. Here comes Timothy Missammer. Nowhere to go for those drivers as Timothy slides in there. Big hit for him. Big hit for Will. Big hit for the 57 ride as everyone just tried to slide through there. There goes the 29 ride. Also going around as we do see, I do believe, the 19 disconnecting from the server. So let's take another look at it here and see how this one continues as, man, there's a lot of cats, a lot of fast drivers that just kind of got stuck there. Nowhere to go. Not expecting this yellow flag as it's up in front of them. They're 3 wide themselves. And all of a sudden they just got nowhere to go. Here comes Jim. Here comes the 327. Hargraves clawing in there. Jeremy Vaughn getting collected in that as well. Big piece of contact there for him as a lot of tore up race cars down and through corner number 3 and 4. And that means we'll get them all ready to rumble. We'll get ready to sack him up, rack him up, and try this one again. Is Austin Marshall. What's good, Austin? Austin, how are you, mister? Austin Marshall coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream and the share as well here this evening. Says, what's good? What's good, homie? How are you, mister? How you doing? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Wednesday. It's happy hump day, ladies and gentlemen. We're halfway through the work week, and we're that much closer now to the weekend, baby. And for most of us, it is a long weekend, man. So hopefully you guys are safe and enjoy some amazing racing here tonight. We'll be in action Friday, Saturday, and Sunday still. So hopefully you guys enjoy some great racing on your holiday here on Peacemaker Gaming, as well as just enjoying in the last little bit of summer that we have left. Is here we go. Back to battle as Sexton with another great launch, another great restart, holding off T-Jack, Brian Wells, and now you do see Dustin Hannigan rolling that inside lane. Has he found something? Has he been able to save those tires and maybe try to use them now down low in the tacky stuff? And here comes T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, making a big look down low. Wanting to go door to door with Phillip here for the race lead. Is side by side down across the line. It's still Sexton, though, out in front, continuing to lead this race as Bill bounces off the outside fence there ever so slightly. Unfortunately for T-Jack, not going to be able to carry that speed momentum in the run that he was hoping for. He'll stay there in position number 2, and unfortunately, the caution flag will come back out. So any of that speed momentum that he had built up is now gone once again. As let's take a look here as we see potentially more issues here for a few of these drivers. Looks like Dakota Proud potentially in here. William Bowman as well. There we go. Bowman around, and man, Richie Yost after the contact with Sean Hayes. That car has been a bit of a magnet out there on the racetrack, as we're going to see, I do believe it is the 31 ride here, run into some issues. Where is Bowman? There he is. All right, so right on board here with Bowman. He's getting loose again, and I think he's just kind of checking up, getting loose. Unfortunately, that is the 11 ride of Jaden Glenn, who's going to get a little piece of him there. Help him go around, and then here comes Yost. Nowhere to go. Right into his lap is that 31 ride. Look at the 19 Dakota Proud. Can Proud get through there? No. Proud runs up into the back end of that 31 as well. Pretty solid damage for all three of those drivers, and then here comes Tim Taylor in there. He's going to get a big piece of that as well as he slides into it. Ends up with some pretty heavy left front damage. The 19 ride goes back around. Bowman's going to run into the 19 ride as it's pinball here at Eldora on the front straightaway here this afternoon. And so here we go. We'll get them all ready to go once again. We'll see if they go single file. It looks like maybe single file here. No, looks like we're going to stack them back up, and it does look like we are going to go 2 by 2 by 2 here once again. I do believe if we see another caution flag, we may go to single file. We'll have to wait and see. I do know if we get inside 10 laps left to go, any caution flag is single file for restarts inside 10 laps left in the race. So that's exactly what Philip Sexton's hoping to get to, as those single file restarts can really give you a huge advantage. Here we go, back to green flag, racing another great launch and another great restart for the 20 as he rolls the bottom lane. Here comes T-Jack trying to wound it up on the high side, looking for a big run down the back straightaway, hoping to pull up door to door. Unfortunately couldn't quite get there, as he does find just a little bit of that right rear quarter panel and powers down on the outside as T-Jack takes the race lead back away. Tyler Jackson back out in front of Sexton. We'll slide back up in behind him here in position number 2. Hannigan expecting that though, comes back down low, pulls a slide job himself up in front of the 20 ride. Philip Sexton slides back to third as Henny now into position number 2 on the racetrack. He'll be looking to try to find his way around Tyler Jackson for the race lead, but things are tight between him and Philip. They're getting tight together. Oh baby, that was so close to another caution flag out there on the racetrack, and that was a game changer for Hannigan and Philip Sexton, as they both could have easily went a round and could have went to the back of the pack here late in this race. And talking about going to the back of the pack, how are the drivers that qualified out in front holding up back here? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're really moving through the field a whole lot. We see Hargreaves back here in about position number 23. Unfortunately, not really moving too far forward, I don't believe. Where is Jeremy Sexton? Jeremy's been trying to battle his way up and through the field here. He's rolling about that 13th position, as I do believe during that last caution flag, the 71 ride of Hargreaves did come down pit side, got some work done to that race car, and had to once again restart from the rear of the field. But you do see Jeremy Sexton back here rolling about that 13th, 14th position, and this is the struggle with trying to come up and through the field. Whether or not you have tires or you don't have tires when you get there, it gets very, very tough to pass. A lot of these drivers all rolling in the same area on the racetrack, and as of right now, they're kind of 2, almost 3 wide here in front of them, so it really doesn't leave a fast or open lane for the 2020 ride to try to find his way through that traffic. He's kind of log jammed right there just outside our top 12 as he rolls on the back bumper of the DWR number 57 of Jim Revis, as Revis trying to work his way up towards the top 10 here, trying to pass that 18 ride of Jason Martin. Martin trying to hold on to the 12th or 11th position here as Ryan Howard right in front of them. That is our 10th place driver, Cameron Stefanski, Seth Castle, Stephen Barreau, and we do see the 75 ride of Kent McLean up there as well. McLean trying to work his way up inside the top 5 here as he works down low underneath of Brian Wells and Stephen Barreau as there's contact. Look out! Seth Castle's gonna go around. Caution flag back on the racetrack. Castle goes around. Yellow flag, and luckily enough, somehow enough, everyone able to avoid him. That was a Oh, baby, that was a close one right there for the 4 ride. Could have very easily taken out a lot of these drivers. Could have put a lot of cats down behind pit wall with heavy damages. Let's take another look at it. 4 ride rolling the outside groove here. I believe it's the 2 ride of Cameron Stefanski just going to slide up the track here a little too far. Unfortunately, not clear of a slide job. Not even close to clearing him there for a slider. Unfortunately, just misjudges it in the Sunrise Racing. Number 2 machine just washes up the track. Can't get it to check up. Can't get it to, kind of hang into the middle groove there. Goes up too far, right into that outside lane where the 4 ride of Castle was already parked in. Unfortunately, the contact just loses the rear end. He goes around, and then look at everyone. Dodged him. Jeremy Sexton, Jim Ravis, Sean Hayes, Timothy Missamer. All these cats just able to keep themselves out of any additional contact and carnage out there on the racetrack, as we will get them all ready to rumble. We'll get them all ready to go back the green flag race. I do believe that the admin crew are going to put Seth Castle back into about the 8th position out there on the racetrack, as he was the one that was in the caution, but he did not cause the caution, and I do believe the 2 ride knew exactly what he did wrong and claimed the yellow, and it does look like we will see Cameron Stefanski go to the rear of the field here behind all of the cars that did not come down pit road. The drivers that are back behind him, they were down pit side getting work done to their race cars. That includes Dylan Simmons, the 31 ride, William Bowman, Jeremy Vaughn. We did see Jackie Whaley also down pit side. He's trying to roll back out there onto the racetrack. Dakota Proud and David Anderson, looks like their nights are done as they have taken their cars back down behind pit wall. As here we go back to green flag racing, as lap 44 will be completed. We got about 21 more laps of racing action left to go, and I think it's just starting to pick up as drivers are going to start to feel that pressure. They're running out of time. They got to make some moves. They got to try to put themselves into the top spot. As here we go. Oh, Phillip right there looked like he got a piece of the inside wall, washed up the racetrack, almost the same as we saw between the 2 and that number 4 ride. Luckily enough, Phillip able to ride the brakes, not lose too much momentum, but not enough to slide up and into the 8 ride and potentially taking out our race leader. Is now, here he goes with a slider right there over that 16 of Dustin Hennigan. Hennigan able to hang on to it as Brian Wells back there in position number 4. He's continuing to look for more. Here is now, there is contact again. Now they're going to stack up. Look at all this power and momentum and everything else, and man, how are they still pointed in the right direction? I thought for certain we were going to see Wells or Tyler Ryan go around, but it does open up the door down low for the 75 ride. The KHR machine to work his way up and into position number 4 as the caution flag does fly again here today. So cautions continue to breed cautions. This time it's not Tyler Ryan, it's Tim Taylor running into issues. The TNT Racing Memphis Grizzlies ride. Tim the Toolman Taylor, unfortunately, looks like he may get a little help here in this one, as it's a hornet's nest back here deeper in the field, and it looks like he's got the 5 right on his front bumper. Has to kind of get checked up, and as he does, he just kind of gets a little sideways right there. And if you're sideways, that means you're not getting any forward momentum. You're not getting any traction. You're not getting any bite. The rear tires are spinning. The car is trying to step out and around on you. And unfortunately, as he's trying to hang on to this car and trying to get it just to keep on rolling here, it looks like Timothy Missamer from behind right there just gets in there and not expecting the 99 to lose so much speed and momentum through the middle of the corner. Gets into him, helps him go down the track, bounces off the 2 right, bounces back up the racetrack. Nowhere to go for that Sunrise Racing Warrior Wraps 33 ride of Dylan Simmons, as Simmons gets a big piece of him right there. Solid contact between the 33 and the 99 ride, and that's what puts us back under the caution flag. So again, we will get them ready to roll. We'll get them ready to go back to battle. You see some drivers trying to follow what our race leaders do. Now, I don't know if this is for fuel mileage, if they're trying to roll the inside of the racetrack here or not, but nonetheless, I don't know. Is this a fuel thing? What is going on here? Why are they running down low? I don't think that's a thing that happens. I don't know if they save tire or cool tires down by running into the mud down the bottom side of the racetrack. I know that's in real life aspect of the game, but I don't know if iRacing has that into the system here, but it really looked like everyone was looking to see if that was a true thing. If it does help you out, we'll find out here as we get ready to rumble here again. Down in through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4, T-Jack will see that green flag fly, and here we go. Back to battle as lap 48 gets clicked off the board. We got about 17 laps of racing action left here today. 17 more laps to battle here at Eldora, and boy, oh boy, is it ever a battle out there on the Speedway, man. These guys are putting on an absolutely insane show for us, man. Look at these drivers, 3, 4, almost 5 wide as they're stacking up back behind him again. Stacking up again, caution flag back out here. Looks like Jason Calhoun, Jackie Whaley, and a bunch of other drivers all going to get tied up here in this one. Keep your eye on this pink, black, and white Hoosier number 17. That is Calhoun as he shoots down into corner number 3, gets in too far, ends up running into the back of the witch doctor here, Nathan Trepo. Trepo just minded his P's and Q's, rolling the outside lane. All of a sudden, the 17 sends it in there a little too far, gets into the back end of him right there. That loses the front nose of the 17. He gets sideways. Here comes Timothy Missamer. Nowhere to go again for Timothy as he gets slammed up into the outside fence. Here comes Pewterbow. Here comes the 720 and Jackie Whaley, who's just going to absolutely murder that 17 ride. And Bowman also gets collected. Heavy contact, heavy hits there for all 4 or 5 drivers there in that one, as that will put us right back under the yellow flag. So we will get ready to do it all over again here in this one. And T-Jack again, these drivers are rolling that inside lane here. I'm not sure what this is, what's going on here with that move, but let's see if we can pull T-Jack himself up here into the booth. Oh, wait, I don't know if I can pull T-Jack. T-Jack's mic is always messed up, so I'm not sure if we can get Tyler up here or not. So we may not be able to get him in here. We'll see if we can ask him post-ranks if he's still up here inside the top 3, as this is definitely an odd one to me. I'm not sure if it's fuel, if it's just trying to cool the tires down. I don't know what the game plan is here. Chat, does this work now? I know it used to not be a thing, as Tim Taylor says, go Dustin! As Austin says, let's go Dustin. Hennigan cheered on Henny here this evening as he says, I race with Dustin every weekend. Kid's a wheelman in the factory stock. Yes, he is, man. He is a wheelman, and it's great to see a lot of our in real life drivers starting to kind of pop back in here for some of the action with the Dirt Warrior Racing League, as I do know they got a new series coming up. As Caleb Ramsey, what's good, Caleb? Caleb coming in with the exclamation mark followage with the 1,333 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane. And Austin coming in with the exclamation mark followage as well with the 1,135 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane, fellas. Those are some big numbers. That makes me feel kind of old, man. I've been doing this for a while, chat. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know. I don't think I've been following myself for as long as everyone else has, but let's see if we can do it ourselves here, if it'll do it for us. Let's take a look here, and here we go. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing here this evening as T-Jack nice and easy down through corner number 3 and 4. We'll see that green flag fly, and here we go back to duking it out. It's 50 laps down, 15 more laps left to go here this evening. 15 more laps of racing action as Caleb, brother, I do believe earlier today I didn't have internet, but I saw it pop up on my screen. You were thinking about trying to join another Dirt series. You're gonna come back here to iRacing, brother. Let me shoot you the Discord for the Dirt Warrior Racing League, as these drivers and this series gonna be back in action. Now it is invitational, so you may have to reach out to Jim Revis or one of those guys to see if you can try to get yourself into the series, as we do see the yellow flag come back out here in this one. As I'll shoot it to you after the race, brother. As Tina Sexton going with the heart reaction. Caleb Ramsey with that heart reaction as well. As Austin says, if you get to talk to Dustin, ask him about his big 30K win in the factory stock. Woo! Brother, 30K win in the factory stock, that is absolutely insane. Most we see here in Canada for our street stocks, or I guess, I don't know, what are your guys' factory stocks? Are they like Monte Carlos and Camaros? Because that's kind of what we run for street stocks. That's more or less our factory stock category here in the Great White North. And yeah, I think the biggest race we put on is one that we put on here with Peacemaker, and it was like, I think, $7,500, but most of them are usually around $1,000 to win. We may have the odd $2,000 to win race, and that's about it. As Caleb says, I first started at DWR when I first got the iRacing service. Jim Revis and the guys taught me a lot. Well, there we go, Caleb. Get back in here, brother. They're starting up a new series, I do believe, middle of September, so definitely get into it. Yes, metric cars only. Okay, metric cars only. Okay, I like that. I like that. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I know down in the States, you guys get into a whole lot of different things with the factory stocks. Factory stocks in America are Hondas and Saturns, fastest cars in the South. Oh, man! Those are those bang bangers? Aren't those fucking Cop 4s, 4-cylinder race cars? What the? Maybe it's a 6-cylinder class, not a V8 class. Is that the difference? What's the difference in them? Is that the difference of V6 compared to a V8, which you would have in like in ours? You know, we run like the 355 Chevys and stuff like that, or or 350 blocks, you know, stuff like that. But here we go, back to green flag racing. Green flag back out into the air here in this one. As quick caution flags, we're trying to get things rolling here. Drivers want to see this checkered flag as quickly as possible, especially if you're that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson as he's trying to get the Hollywood Shark ride back up into victory lane here. But Hennigan right there behind him. Dustin trying to work his way to the point. Here is Philip Sexton, who we saw take the race lead away from T-Jack. Was able to lead quite a few laps here this evening. Has fallen back there into third. He hasn't been able to find his way back around that 16 or the 8 machine, but now he's getting hassled by this 86 of Brian Wells. Wells has been having a great run in newcomer here out on the racetrack. The 75 ride of Kent McLean doing a great job battling down low. But here comes Seth Castle. Here comes Jeremy Sexton from the back of the pack, working his way now up towards the front. Tyler Ryan trying to hold on to 8th. Same with Stephen Burrow back there in 9th. Jim Revis up inside the top 10 as here comes William Hargraves. Hargraves not only had to start at the rear of the field here this evening after qualifying on the front row, the 71 ride also had to go down pit road there not too long ago, so he's making a quick comeback, trying to race his way inside the top 10 as he pulls the trigger on a slide job there over Revis and takes over position number 10 here this evening. As out in front, it's Tyler Jackson. T-Jack looking to click off another lap as 56 laps completed. 9 more laps left to go. Does Tyler Jackson hang on to the race lead? Does he put himself up and into victory lane here at Eldora, or do we see Hennigan, Philip Sexton, Wells, McCain, or maybe one of the drivers coming from the back of the pack like Philip Sexton or William Hargraves? Do they have enough time with a couple caution flags to potentially work themselves around them and put themselves up and into the top spot? As here we go, you do see Ryan trying to just hang on to that car, bouncing it off the outside fence. There goes that 45 of Stephen Moreau. Around him is the 45 and 47 now parked right in front of that Grumpy Graphics DWR number 71. Hargreaves trying to slice and dice his way through here, but right now it's Jeremy Sexton who's trying to make some big moves, trying to work his way inside the top 5. Out there on the racetrack is down low. Slow is that 75, and Kent McLean's gonna slide back now into about the 7th position. Having such a great run up inside the top 5 for the 75 ride. Now back into about that 6th position on the outside of the top 5 looking in. As T-Jack continues to hold on to the race lead down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4, running a bit of that slide job lane for the 8 ride down across the line. He will see 5 more laps of racing action here this evening. It's a slide job out of the 16, and he pulls the trigger, knows that he is running out of time, has to make something happen here in the next couple laps, or else he may never get the shot again to take the win away from Tyler Jackson here this evening. But could we see a late race caution flag? Could we see something mix it up and bring some of these drivers right back to the rear bumper of that 8 ride? As here comes Eddie. Another great run for that 16 machine. Another good run, another good drive. And now he's looking to try to build up that momentum, all that speed, hoping to find a run down the front straightaway here. I thought potentially he was going to pull the trigger, go for a big slide job right there. As here we go, caution flag is out. Yellow flag is out here on lap 63. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is not over yet. It is still anybody's race to win, and it looks like the hard charge here, not once but twice, for William Hargraves may come to a close as he's trying to find his way around Tyler Ryan. He's trying to find his way around this 47, works to the high side right here, and then, oh, he's just going to get hit right there from the 45 right. Steven, you can see this car. He's sideways through the corner. He's trying to work it through there, and then it looks like it just kind of snaps straight on him here. He kind of gets straightened out, and then he just washes right up right there into that left rear quarter panel of the 71 right. The Dirt Panda DWR machine's gonna go around, and that will put us back under the yellow flag as Will's just trying to keep that car from running into anyone else. Unfortunately, Timothy Sammer gonna get some contact into that one. Timothy really nowhere to go right here. The 4 right of Howard gonna get contact into that as well. Big damage to that 71. Big rear end damage also to the 45 and the 327. And for Jim Revis as he kind of gets bounced around right there, just trying to work his way around it. Unfortunately, he gets tied up there as well. So a bunch of drivers getting some pretty solid contact here late in the races. That will put us back under the yellow flag, and that means we get at least one more caution flag here this evening. One more restart here in this one as Pratt says Wells is a beast. As Austin says, I run a bang banger 4-cylinder Chevy Cobalt painted like a cow. Dustin's knows the Moo Crew is what everybody calls our crew. All right, the Moo Crew. I like that for certain. As Taylor says, the Australian Bulldog got his ass. Them Aussies are mean, but we love them, man. It's always great to talk to that Aussie up here in this up on the stream, man. It's always good fun talking with Steven. It's always good fun talking with any of our Aussie friends, as we did have our other Aussie friend not in attendance here tonight in that 47 ride. A tough break there, not seeing our boy up here in the chat, as I know he was in here, he was watching, he was trying to cheer these guys on earlier. Unfortunately for the 47 machine, not out there on the racetrack here this evening. As here we go, back to battle. Here comes Hennigan down low. Hennigan with a big run, door to door with T-Jack down and out of corner number 4. They're rubbing and scrubbing. Here comes Philip Sexton trying to poke his nose back into the battle as the white flag has been displayed. White flag is out, unfortunately for Hennigan. He's sliding backwards. Here comes Sexton on the outside looking for a big run. T-Jack down through 3 and out of corner number 4 for the final time here this evening. He will hold them off as Tyler Jackson will pick up the checkered flag here this evening. T-Jack with the dub here at Eldora. Philip Sexton able to jump up into position number 2 in that doghouse chassis. Sexton paint and body number 2020 as the Cocky Floyd Consulting ride will come home in position number 2, and it's Dustin Hennigan just by a couple inches able to hold off Brian Wells for position number 3. But T-Jack gets it done and will pull himself up and into the Eldora Speedway victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for the Hollywood Shark as T-Jack captures the checkered flag here this evening in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Circle Track Showdown, live from Eldora Speedway as T-Jack gets the dub here today. We'll get ready to pull Tyler and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. Let's see if we can get Tyler up here into the booth right now. I can't pull anyone out of the admin's chat, so he's got to move out of the admin's chat for us to be able to pull him up here. So we'll wait patiently for T-Jack to slide out of the admin channel, and we'll get him up here into the booth. Hopefully his mic and everything else works, and we can get him in here quickly. As there we go, we do see him move, so let's see if we can get him up here. Hey, T-Jack, you got a copy? All right, T-Jack stuff normally doesn't work, so we're going to try a couple different things here. Tyler, you got a copy? Tyler, if you can hear me, Try jumping. Oh, there we go. All right, he's got us, Jack. He's got us. All right, D-Jack, man, what a run, what a race, man. It was a tough battle here all night long for you. He had Philip Sexton, Dustin Hennigan, Wells, and so many other fast cats back there trying to, battle with you here tonight. And for a while, we saw Philip look like he was going to be potentially that dominant car late in this race. We saw Hennigan trying to steal this win away from you, man, and it comes down to a green-white checkered again here in the DWRL, and you're able to hold them all off, keep them back there at bay, and park this Hollywood Shark ride back up into victory lane here this evening, man. Take us through it and take us through those battles between yourself, Philip, and Dustin.
Yeah, the plan early was I was just going to follow Philip, and the first start of the race, he must have, I don't know if he missed a gear or what, but I just timed it right or something, but we took off, and we were able to get to his outside, so I figured we'd go lead, and then I was just trying to hold him off without burning my tires up completely. We were kind of throwing sliders at each other, and he threw one on me and parked on my nose, so I made sure to do it back to him on the straightaway. So we were kind of even there, but kind of was dumb. We were tearing our tires up, and then we got into second. We were cool with riding, and then I started battling. I think it was Brian Wells, and yeah, he actually slid me once and parked on it, and we actually got some wheel damage. I don't know which wheel it was, but anyway, yeah, it looks like towards the end, Philip must have maybe burnt his stuff up a little bit, and Dustin was a lot better than me at the end. I was happy to see that last green-white checkered there, because he was really eating me up those last couple laps, and I thought I could get a good start, and I thought I could do something different on the bottom, and he kind of read that perfect, and he was all over me, and he squeezed me there coming to white, in the 4, but luckily we kept it straight, and he kept it straight, and neither one of us lost the win. I mean, I'm glad one of us won, because I felt like we were the class of the field at the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Tight racing there. A lot of different slide jobs and everything else kind of being played out here throughout the evening. And obviously, that tight battle there at the end, the caution flag coming out as Dustin, man, yeah, he was really sizing you up, man. He pulled a couple slide jobs there, and then it looked like he was trying to just build that momentum and everything else, trying to close back up your rear bumper and try to strike again here in the closing laps. And luckily enough, you kind of got saved there a little bit by the bell potentially here tonight as the yellow flag comes out. You're able to get the jump on the restart and then just hold him back there at bay as he has to deal with Philip, as Philip was able to get back around him and steal that second spot from him here this evening.
Yeah, I had no idea really what line to run at the end. That slider line was working really good for me for a while, and I felt like I could keep the car straight, but then it seemed like Dustin was just eating me up, and then when he started throwing sliders on me in 1 and 2, I was actually okay with it, because I wanted to run kind of that diamond line anyway. But a couple times he was so far back that I was just waiting on him to cross me. I felt like that's where I was losing my time. It wasn't just like he was on me and he passed me. It was like I felt like I was waiting up there forever for him to come by and turn back down. And yeah, it was a really good battle. I don't know how he does it. He always looks so sideways to me, but it seems like he always has rubber at the end. And yeah, thanks for him to running me clean. We've had some really tight battles, me and him, and I got a lot of respect for his driving ability.
Yeah, absolutely tough, fierce competitors out there on the racetrack, but man, what a drive and what a performance here. Now that Hollywood Shark as you park it up here into the Eldora Speedway victory lane. D-Jack, who would you like to thank again here tonight for another amazing run, another great performance, and another checkered flag here in your historic iRacing career?
Yeah, I just put together a new stand for my wheel and pedals, and it's a lot sturdier than my last one. My other one kind of had kind of some play or give in it, and it would almost actually rotate a little bit once in a while. So we're really sturdy now. I'm kind of still getting used to the way I sit with it, but seems to be keeping me real smooth. It seems like I can hit my lines a little better. So hopefully maybe that'll even transfer to some other cars when we try some other stuff later in the year. But yeah, thanks to all the guys at DWR, my parents for watching, you for the broadcast as always, and yeah, everybody comes out and makes these Wednesday nights fun. And we got a lot of competition in this Wednesday night thing. It really feels good to get a W when you look at some of the names and some of the time some of these guys spend on here. I know a lot of these guys spend a lot of time on here, and they're all getting better. So it's harder to stay on top, and we're just doing the best we can.
Absolutely, brother. Just trying to roll with the punches here and continue to work on your craft, find the speed that they're finding, and continue to find your way up here into victory lane. Hopefully that continues for a long, long time. As T-Jack, congrats on the win here this evening, brother. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday for our finale here in the Circle Track Showdown, as we'll take a week off after that and then head into a new series. Points and everything else on the line, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll see you out there on the racetrack for that new series.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy the points racing. It to me, it seems like people race with their heads a little bit more than just trying to win one of these races where, if you get second, it actually does mean something. Second or 30th or 24th means a big difference. So I think it calms the racing down. I know some guys think it makes the racing worse, but we'll find out. I mean, tonight was pretty good for a while, and then it just seemed like I don't know what was going on in the back, but it just seemed like, man, I couldn't get a rhythm going, and finally got 2 laps green together to get it over with. So yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday, and we'll be starting in the back, and hopefully maybe we'll get to third and be able to talk to you.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we can't wait to see how that plays out and see you race your way up and through the field next Wednesday night. T-Jack, congrats again on the win, brother, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, and congrats to Philip and Dustin both. We'll see you.
See you, brother. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack picks up the checkered flag here this evening. As we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher here, the number 20, right? It's going to say the 23. It's not the 23. It is the 20 machine. It is Philip Sexton coming home here in position number 2. Let's pull him up here into the booth.
And
Hey, Philip, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
yes, sir.
Philip, man, heck of a run, heck of a drive here this evening, man, as you and T-Jack, Hannigan, Wells, you guys just duke it out here this evening for, the top 3 positions all night long. And there at the end, obviously, we see it with the race lead. T-Jack is able to get around you. Soon as he moves around you again, we see Hannigan make that move as well, steal that second spot. But late in this race, that final caution flag and that green-white checkered opened up the door for you to jump to his outside and steal that second place back away, at least here this evening, to come home P2 behind T-Jack, man. Take us back through it. What's going through your mind right now as the dust settles here in Eldora?
Yeah, man, that was a hell of a race. It's always fun getting able to being able to battle with guys like that up front. But I knew in the very beginning that T-Jack was going to save his precious tires, and we ran Monday night here, and I ran pretty much wide open the whole race. I ended up winning the race, and we all compared tires, and tires were pretty much the same across the board. So I knew I didn't need to save. But once I got in front of him, I knew I was getting a good lead, and then we got that caution. And then when off of the restart, I hit the slick, and he was able to drive under me and slide me and take the lead back. Um, and then Hennigan's not scared to throw a slider, so he got by me. And then once he got by me, I figured I'd let him and T-Jack duke it out for a while and just kind of hang back and try to look for an opportunity. And we just kept getting caution after caution after caution, and that made it a little difficult. But that last one, I got a really good jump, hit the middle with the cut down, and I think Brian Wells gave me a little bump and run, and I was able to get by Hennigan for second. So I'll take it.
Absolutely, a little bit of shake and bake there as he's able to launch it forward
Yeah.
and give you that second spot out on the racetrack as he muscle into position number 2 here this evening, man. Who'd you like to thank for another great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Well, of course, all the guys at Cocky Floyd, JC, Jordan, Caden, Ethan, all those guys, my brother Jeremy, Brian for giving me that bump and run. And T-Jack, I like racing with T-Jack, so I have nothing good to say with him. He always races pretty clean. I know I put my back bumper on his, and he returned the favor, so it's all fun.
Absolutely, brother. All fun, and that's the main thing here on Wednesday nights with obviously no points on the line, just running for fun here in the Circle Track Showdown, running for a little bit of pride and confidence out there on the racetrack. And I'm sure even just coming home second to a driver like T-Jack, man, still builds that confidence and that everything else up here, a little bit of momentum, as we do know that there's the new series coming up here in a few weeks' time where points are going to be on the line. So trying to get these good finishes, solid performances, and being able to battle with a driver like Tyler, who's had so many championships and wins and everything else, definitely got to make you feel pretty good and pretty strong here going in to that season.
Oh, absolutely. I look forward to it. It's nice to be able to get on here and race instead of having to sit in Discord and watch. But I'm just glad I still have an account that I can race on. So I'm looking forward to the new season.
Absolutely, brother, and we can't wait to see you out there duking it out every Wednesday night, brother. As Philip, solid run, great drive here this evening. Congrats on the second place finish. Hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next Wednesday for our Circle Track Showdown finale, and maybe one spot better and up in victory lane.
Yes, sir. We're getting close.
Absolutely, brother. One of these days we'll get you up here first.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Philip Sexton, as Philip comes home in position number 2. Jeremy Vaughn says throttle control for some people would be key. It's definitely key when you get our slick racetrack like we had here tonight. Any slick racetrack, that's kind of what I tell new drivers when they kind of get into the sim, when they start running, whether it's late models, modifieds, or, the street stocks even. Is to practice more on the slick than on the tacky. Anybody can be fast in the tacky. It's all about being fast in that slick stuff. That is where you win races. Majority of the time, this is what the track looks like, if not even slicker than what it is right now. And that's kind of where that's where you win the money, man, is through the slick. You don't win the big checks running in the tacky stuff. That is for certain. As we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher, Dustin Hannigan. Hannigan knows about winning some big checks. 30K win in his bang banger here a little while ago, and here he is back on the sim, back in here battling with the DWR guys and picking up another solid third place run. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey Dustin, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Dustin, man, another solid run, another great drive here for you tonight, man. Take us back through it. Obviously, some tight battle in there between yourself and Philip, T-Jack, Brian Wells. So many fast cats up there, man. You guys put on a absolutely hell of a show for us here this evening.
Yeah, at first I saw them two battling, so I was just gonna ride a little bit, and then we had a caution later on, and I started picking it up. We just kept having cautions, so I knew I just had to push them.
Yeah, just trying to push them, trying to push the subject there. Obviously, we saw you throwing some big slide jobs. Never a slouch when it comes to pulling those big moves out there on the racetrack, man. Take us through some of them. Obviously, some crazy action there, trying to figure out a way to get around T-Jack. Looked like you kind of had him lined up there for late in this race before that final caution flag, and it seemed like it just kind of killed your momentum and allowed Philip to get back around you.
Yeah, on the restarts, it took me a couple laps to get going, and we had that long run for like 12 laps before the last yellow. I was getting faster and faster, and he started kind of running my little cut down line in 1 and 2, so I knew I had to change it up. So I just started throwing haymakers in 1 and 2, trying to slide up in front of him.
Absolutely.
And then on the last one, that restart, I hit the wall, and Philip got me.
Yeah, unfortunately there, he was able to get you outside and beat you back down across the line here this evening, man. But that was a lot of fun and a great show here all evening long. We do have Austin Marshall in the chat here as well, cheering you on this evening. And, he was talking earlier about that big 30K factory stock win you had not too long ago, man. Take us through that one. That's a big prize there for the factory stocks, man. Take us through those cars and what happened for a 30K win. That's insane, brother.
Yeah, I started third in that race, took the lead on lap 2, and had a racing incident after about 20 laps in, and then had to go to the rear and made my way back up. And coming to the white flag, I threw a slider to take the lead, and then I led the last one. It was pretty crazy. Everybody was up, in the stands, up on their feet. It really got pushed back, so we had a lot of cautions in the C feature, D features. I think we didn't get done till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Jeepers creepers, man. Well, hey, it was all worth it in the long run, picking up a big payday there and a absolutely insane win, brother. As that's awesome to hear. Obviously, I love hearing every drivers in real life racing action as well as their iRacing action. It sounds like not a slouch. Only hearing iRacing throwing those big sliders and being able to do them in real life as well, Dustin, as you're getting pretty good at making those big moves and obviously picking up some big checks. And hopefully we'll see you back out here, maybe battling for our points series that's starting up in mid-September.
Yes, sir. I was hoping I can get a race clean through these races and maybe get an invite and try to chase the points and win that.
Absolutely, brother. Well, I'm sure the DWR guys are going to be sending you an invite, man, as you're always running clean, always running fast out there and putting on a great show for the fans at the stands, and hopefully we'll see you there in that series. But Dustin, hell of a run, hell of a drive here tonight as you come home in position number 3, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great race and great drive out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, everybody at TNL, they keep getting me faster and faster since I've been back. You for broadcasting this, Jim, and everybody over there putting this on and let me race it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Dustin, hell of a run, hell of a drive, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next Wednesday for our season finale here of the Circle Track Showdown.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
You enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 16 of Dustin Hannigan as Henny comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there as these drivers put on a absolutely amazing show for us, man. That was a ton of fun. 3, 4, 5 wide at times out there on the racetrack. And if you guys enjoyed that racing action, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow or subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, definitely hit the follow button. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button as we continue to keep on growing each and every single day. And we continue to want to keep growing not only all of our channels, but definitely our YouTube channel. We're trying to build that YouTube channel up, all the time. And let me see if we can get the link over there to Facebook. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go check us out over on YouTube and drop us a subscription over there. Become part of the team over on YouTube, as man, we're always growing on every single channel, and especially when we start getting into more in real life content, it's going to be absolutely insane, and that YouTube channel is going to be popping off, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone who already came in with the likes, the comments, the shares, man, I can't thank you guys enough. Any of the new followers or subscribers, I can't welcome you enough to the Peacemaker family here this evening. But thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys back here in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Engines rumble, primal roar, putting us to the test. Helmets on, we're all strapped in, trying to do our best. From the bleachers, cheering loud, a father and his child. Every driver, heart aflame, and adrenaline runs wild. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. 4 wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Cars running on the high side, looking for more grip, drifting sideways and holding tight, trying not to flip. Rubbing fenders, bumping doors, ain't no time for doubt. Pushing hard past the limit, we're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. 4 wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, guarantee. One last lap, the checkered flag flapping in the breeze. Heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been